Question number 4, how did you all meet? Just answer that. What are you doing for workouts now? I also kind of answered that already. I do full body workouts. Oh, I guess I didn't really say what kind of workouts I'm doing. So I do full body workouts, especially because I'm in my 3rd trimester. I only have so much energy. I spend a lot of my day on my feet. Like, even if I don't have to, I choose to, which is not good. But I just really like being in the kitchen, guys. It's a thing. But yeah, I do like 25 to 30-minute workouts, usually beginning with a warm-up, and then I'll usually focus a lot more on legs. So sometimes I'll do weighted squats with just like a 25-pound weight, because that's all I've got here. And I think our gym's just open, but I'm still not gonna expose myself to gym energy, just because, you know, it's a lot of people, not the cleanest of places. I'm pregnant, and I'm not being like dramatic, but I just want to take precaution. And you know, it's only like a month and a half till baby's born, so it's a good time to be precautious, I would say. So I just use little 25 pounds here at home, and a lot of bands as well. So if you guys really wanted to see it, I could definitely share one of my workouts. They're honestly really fun, and even if you're not pregnant, you can do them and get like a good sweat going. They've definitely, like, I've toned it down a lot, I would say, over the past couple of weeks, just because I could feel that I was just like pushing myself a little too hard. And even though getting such a good sweat and then like being sore and all of that just felt so good, I knew that it wasn't really like, it's not really what I need right now. Like right now, I think just like throwing squats in my yoga, like this morning I did a practice and I threw in like some kickbacks while I was doing like a standing balancing pose and things like that, and I'll just like throw in squats and throw in some planks and things like that. But I feel like as I'm approaching my due date, I'm feeling called to tone it down on the intensity of my physical activity. My intuition is just telling me to slow down, do a lot of yoga, move my body, more ways that have less impact and less stress, but just keep moving. So that's my answer for what my workouts are right now. What is my birth plan? Hospital, at home, midwife, do you plan to breastfeed? My birth plan is in the works right now, actually. Up until this past Tuesday, my birth plan was to have no plan at all, but I guess you kind of need to have one. So my midwife, which just answered another question, I have a midwife. She just provided me with a few different birth plans that people have used in the past, just to use as reference, and then also like what the hospital, just answered the other question, I'll be having the baby at the hospital, what the hospital provides, so people can have a little bit of assistance with developing their birth plan based on what the hospital offers. So I didn't really have a plan, because I knew that like I just wanted everything to be as natural as possible. So I thought I could just say that and it would be good enough, but I guess having it written helps. So I'm going to be working on developing that with Nicholas within like the next 2 weeks. I'll be working on that, but I'm planning on just like, I know the one thing is that I want her umbilical cord to stay on for like at least 90 seconds before it's cut, just because a friend of mine shared that when that happens, you're allowing a lot of like the nutrients to flow into the baby, because there's still like a lot happening, you know, like if she comes out and then you like kind of like cut her off her the only thing she's known for the past 9 months. So when you do that, you just allow blood and nutrients and oxygen to flow through her and nourish her. And after 90 seconds, it's usually a good time where you can cut it. So I want to do that, and then I want her to like immediately come to me so we can do skin to skin, so I can breastfeed her, give her all this golden colostrum that I will have in here, and probably like get her swaddled after, maybe like after 2 hours or an hour. I think I'll do a breastfeeding and skin to skin for like an hour. And I don't want her to get vaccinated, but I haven't really talked to Nick about this quite yet, so I'll have to get insight on it, obviously. I don't want a C-section. I don't want an epidural. I don't want pest, what's the word? It's like pest something with a P. I think it's a painkiller. I don't want anything, you know, like if I have to, if I really have to, if it's like life or death decision, obviously I will do as I'm told, but I'm going in there with really good perspective. I've been doing a lot of visualization to kind of prepare my body and to try to imagine what the pain is going to feel like, even though I have no idea because I've never experienced childbirth. I'm trying to kind of, you know, put myself in that position and create the moment so that once I actually am in it, my body can kind of just like go into like an automatic response because it's been there before, and all I'll really have to do is just breathe, surrender to the sensations. I don't want to call it pain, and just surrender to everything that's happening. I feel like if I don't stress, if I don't freak out, and I don't like tighten and constrict, I feel like it's going to be really effortless and graceful. So I've been envisioning a lot of that, and I feel like I've definitely gotten far in my vision, and I see it being like 6 to 8 hours long. Obviously, like there's gonna be quote unquote pain. I don't expect it to not hurt, but I think it's gonna be, how do I say it? I'm gonna be so in tune with my breath and my body that it's not gonna seem that way. You know, it's just gonna be like really quick and boom, bam, bada bum. No expectations. But I'm just trying to manifest, you know, I'm trying to put the work of the mind to work. So we'll see how it goes. July 9th. Tell you guys then. Was it easy for you to get pregnant due to years of training or competitions? Have you been on birth control before? Yes, I have been on birth control before. I think I was pretty young, maybe like 15 or 16 I started. Maybe 14. And I stopped taking it a couple of years after. So I stopped taking it when I started competing pretty much. I think when I was like 17 or 18, maybe 18. It was my second year of competing, and I stopped taking it because I felt like the hormones, just like the fake hormones of birth control, didn't really serve my body when I was competing. And I knew that I couldn't get pregnant anyways, just because I was like way too lean and just my body wasn't in a place where like it could conceive. So I'm like, I'm not gonna take birth control. So I stopped taking birth control back then, and ever since I never took it again. But I also lost my period like a few times during that time period. And when I found out that I was pregnant, that was like one of the things that just made me feel like this was such a blessing, you know. It's the fact that I put my body through so much stress and like starvation and heavy training, and I was still able to like conceive and create this life force that's inside of me. And it was pretty, I mean, I don't know if like we weren't trying, so it's hard to like sit here and be like, oh, it was so easy, because I wasn't like, you know, keeping track of things or anything, or like we weren't being careful, because I very blatantly said a million times like, I want to have your kids. And I really like low-key definitely like had an instinct that I wanted a baby soon, even though like I know that it wasn't, maybe, I mean, is there ever a right time? I guess I can't say that it wasn't the right time, but maybe just because like we feel like there's still so many things that we're kind of like working out to create more balance in our life and like more stability. And I would say like that's the only reason why we maybe like weren't really thinking of having a child, but I was happy when I found out. I guess I would say it was like pretty easy. It just happened. I don't know. I would love to hear how you made the transition from competing and calorie counting to where you are now. So I have a few videos from like 2 years ago on my channel where I talk a lot about intuitive eating, weight training, how I made the transition, and it's definitely a lot different from my perspective now, just because like I was like at the very beginning of my transitional journey back then, whereas now I've kind of like gone through a lot of it, and it's crazy to say that I'm still going through a lot of it. Like there's still a lot of things that I feel like come up, and I'm still learning how to maneuver, but I feel like that could honestly just like be a video on its own, just because it's a pretty deep question. Like it takes a whole lot of letting go and like peeling back layers and rewiring and changing thought patterns to like really free yourself from all of the habits that are developed from bodybuilding and competing, or like dieting constantly. To summarize it, the way that I made the transition was really by like getting to a place where I was burnt out, where I had no choice but to make the transition. So because of that, I just kind of started, and that's really how it all kind of happened. I just made the decision, I stuck with it. Even though I was tempted a million times to get back on stage, I didn't, because I knew that it wasn't the right thing to do. And little by little, it's just like doing your own personal growth work and spiritual work. You just kind of like uncover new things and peel back layers. And I feel like a lot of the times it's like hindered I guess I can't say it's hindered my personal growth work, because it's all happening simultaneously. But I feel like sometimes, because I've like still have so much work to do there, and like so many layers to peel back from like all that I built over those years, kind of can get a little like stuck there sometimes. But I've come a really long way. I definitely do not track macros anymore, or even like weigh anything. I definitely like have my days, like when I feel like I said I'm eating out a lot, or if I'm like eating foods that I know just don't serve me, I'll definitely like get in a rut and just get in like a really negative mindset. Just like, one, because I can feel it physically, but two, because I just like kind of feel disappointed in myself, because I know that they're not things that are serving my body. And it's not that I'm saying like this is good and this is bad in terms of food. All I'm saying is that like it's a balance, and when you're way over here and you're not doing enough of these other things, like you're bound to feel that. You're bound to feel like poop. And I'm just hard on myself, because like I know that I shouldn't be doing those things, and the fact that I do them sometimes, like I'm not saying like I ate a burger and I feel bad. I'm saying that like, you just like ate a burger one night and then you have pizza the next night, and then this isn't, and I'm just like, no, I don't need to eat that way. Or like if I'm not exercising or like being active, that's another thing where I'm just like, I know it's so good for me, and I know I feel so much better mentally and physically and emotionally. Oh my god, like if I don't work out, it's just like not good for me emotionally. So like when I don't do those things, it makes it really hard, because it's not so much that I'm comparing to who I used to be. It's more so I'm just like not doing the things that I know I need to do to like show up as myself, like as someone who's here, like fully present, and I'm kind of like half-assing my lifestyle, if that makes sense. I feel like that pretty much covers that question. It's just making the choice, starting to like little by little change some habits. Like if you're used to weight training every single day, for example, and it's like really heavy weight, and you know that maybe your body isn't capable of doing it anymore because it's starting to wear you down, and then like back off to 5 days a week or 4 days a week. And like it's just really making small changes. It's like everything in life, you make small changes, and then you proceed to the next step, and then you find another layer that you gotta peel, you know, and that might be calorie counting. So you're like, okay, I'm gonna eat intuitively for one meal of the day, and then it's 2 meals, and so on. So it sounds simple, it's not simple. I've been at it for like 4 years now, I feel like. Maybe less, I don't know. I really do lose track of time. It takes a lot of time and just self-awareness, so you can grab yourself out of those moments where you maybe want to go back to the way things used to be, or you want to start like controlling things a lot, or you are missing your old body, etc. So you can kind of like talk to yourself and be your best friend and remind yourself like why it is that you're doing it, and why it is that what you used to do no longer really serves you in the way that it used to. So it's like always 2 steps forwards, 1 step back, and sometimes you fall, get back up, you keep going, and that's pretty much how the journey kind of has been. You know, it hasn't been linear at all, like everything in life. It hasn't been linear, and but I definitely like have come a really long way, and I feel like I've definitely broken down and peeled back a lot of layers that were built over those years. So that was the last question. Probably gonna break this up into 2 videos because that was very long. But again, I just want to express my gratitude to all of you for continuing to be here, for just supporting and saying hello and sharing all your love, and I just want to send it all right back your way. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new around here, subscribe, come hang out. Come watch some cooking videos and life videos and baby videos, maybe some fitness videos, definitely nutrition videos. Yeah, that's what I got to offer. Thanks again for being here, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day.